What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, spawning in the right side of the map in the blue color, playing as Zeus. His name is 3antozz. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Loki. His name is Gaboo. Oh, I love this. I love this opening from Gaboo. What a play. I love it. Why is this great? Well, we'll go into it a little bit later. But basically, this tournament game here, or this tournament series, is currently 1-1. 3antozz taking the first game with a Zeus versus Loki matchup on, what was the map? It was Tundra Pools. Second game, Gaboo took it with a Uranus versus Zeus game on Oasis. We're seeing 3antozz is deciding to stick with his Zeus this entire series here. In game number 3, it seems, he's just like, all right, Zeus or bust is the way to go against Gaboo here. As Gaboo, he's on his rhinoceros at this point. He's going to be getting himself all the good resources and everything else that comes through in this game. I really like this opening. One thing you can also do here is you can actually jump onto the wood, allow the Ulfsark to move forward to see exactly if there's any hunt here or if you have to go over here, and then jump onto the elephant if all things go poorly or whatever you want to do. But basically here, Gaboo is saving the elephant in his main base for later in the game, which is going to allow him a lot of hunt in his main base, which is going to be very, very defensive. He's also got this really nice back gold mine. In terms of amazing maps against Zeus, this one has to be up there as one of the best maps you're ever going to get as Loki against Zeus. So we'll see if 3antozz is going to be able to work this one out, as we already see him moving forward onto this middle giraffe. I think this is a vitally important part about this map, is the fact that there are 2 packs of giraffe equally positioned in the middle of the map. So if you control the map, you control the hunt. And that's the unique part about this map with Sheltered Pass. It's a very... There's maps out there, let's say, that have got kind of set fish. For example, Mediterranean has got set fish, set food. There's maps out there that have got set gold mines, like Frozen Wastes. There's maps out there that have got set wood lines, like Painted Desert or Oasis. There's not really many maps that have got super set hunt, and this is one of them, and I love this. It really, really changes the dynamics of this map. Now, you could probably say that Frozen Waste has technically got set food with the walrus. There's always going to be walrus in the middle of the map, and Marsh is always going to have boar in the middle of the map, but it's kind of, the position of it is quite random, whereas on this map, it's quite set. You know, it's always going to be in the very center. So we'll see how it's going to go, but obviously here, 3antozz is going to be very, very aggressive early in this game. We'll see what sort of an advance time he's going to be able to get with that elephant moving forward as well. It looks like it's probably going to be a 3:30, though his temple is up, and he does decide to get himself that Jason out here as the villagers here going to finish up the goat on this position. Does he decide to advance here for a 3:26 or get an extra villager? It looks like he's going to be trying to advance. And there he goes, as Athena will come through, and he is going for a very, very aggressive build here. Part of me would have preferred to have seen the Jason not built, but we'll see if it's going to matter. Because he could have got a 4-16 advance here, I think, and that would have allowed him to have his military buildings down a little bit faster and have his units out a little bit faster and be putting more pressure on. But the Jason will be able to push in and get a little bit of harass onto these villages. But with 8 villagers being here, Gaboo can basically just shank the Odysseus down, and he shouldn't do all too much damage here, it seems, as the Jason walks forward, and Gaboo is simply just going to be pulling back into his main base, I guess. So he doesn't care, no worries. And we'll see what he's going to do as he's trying to get those Hersa out. He's got 2 options. He could jump onto the berries for a little bit and then push back out onto the hunt. But he looks like he's just going to decide to go for those elephants. So a nice choice there, as the walls are going to come up around all these towers here, keeping himself very, very defensive in his main base. As the villagers for 3antozz move even closer in. Military Academy coming down. Is he going double Military Academy or just the... Well, he's missing the wood at the moment, but there are 2 options here. You can go double Military Academy, or you can go Military Academy Archery Range, and we do see the Archery Range as the building of choice. Obviously, there's going to be a 3rd military building coming up here in around about a minute and a half, which tends to be when that building should come down. Probably going to be another military academy there to get more of those hoplites out, considering how much hunt is on the map. As the Hursar are going to come through here, the Jason and Minotaur searching around for something to attack here. As the Odysseus should come through to defend this one. Hoplites popping out. There is a troll here. He can delete that troll with the bolt if he so chooses. Or he can just utilize the Odysseus to clean that one up. There's good micro here from 3antozz. Pulling back, gets a couple of shots onto the troll there. As the hoplite will be going down. Meanwhile, in the main base, we do see the Minotaur getting some good value here, trying to take out some villagers. As it looks like Gaboo not paying attention. That hoplite going to stay alive with 15 HP. The troll here is getting chased down. A little bit of path blocking there from the Toxotes as the troll will end up falling. Odysseus manages to kill the troll. One Hursar going down. 2 military units there going down for 3antozz as well, but one villager falling as this Minotaur is still going to town on these villagers. Gaboo not paying attention well to this at all. Good garrison there from Gaboo now as he pulls off of the elephant, but things going very, very poorly here in this early game, it would seem, for Gaboo. Generally speaking, you don't want to lose any units. You want to be utilizing that healing spring as best as you can as the Hursar does garrison into this watchtower, or sentry tower here. Watchtowers is coming through now for Gaboo as he is having to delay the Hall of Thanes for that upgrade to keep himself nice and safe in his main base. As there's the healing spring coming through. Oxcart moving in here as well. Still some kind of poorly placed Hursar coming in as the watchtower will go down. If you want to defend your watchtowers a little bit more so, you can drop houses like we see this house over here. You can put the wall segments and the house there. You could put the temple in to defend that as well. These wall segments here are just we put a restriction on these wall segments around the towers to basically say, look, we still want to see a little bit of aggression here coming in. If you could put 8 wall segments around the tower, then there would be zero way to kill off that tower. It just wouldn't fall ever. Which completely puts a stop to any aggression early, which is not an ideal thing in any stretch of in any sense of the word. So we put a little restriction on this to make it a little bit more interesting as Gaboo retreats back here. And this tower as well could start getting taken down if 3antozz wants to put pressure onto it. But he is taking a lot of damage here from those watchtowers after all is said and done. And now the units coming through. He does still have that restoration remaining. Pushing off this wood line will put a lot of pressure onto Gaboo as well. He's got those goats over here. He could try and sneak onto the zebra here as 3antozz hasn't got a good eye on that one just yet. Meanwhile, I mean, he does see it though, so there is that going for him as he's still trying to push in and take down the house, open up this watchtower, and continue to put pressure on. But the Toxotes here, they're still taking a lot of damage from that watchtower. It's dealing 16 damage a second to those Toxotes, which is a big deal as Hall of Thanes now clicked up by Gaboo. The villagers getting pushed off of this position here as well as 3antozz has gotten himself a huge advantage here in this game. As the villagers moving to the top side of that forest there. Units pulling back over here, going to try and take out the house here as well. And the hoplites coming over here. The Hursar still darting back and forth. I don't know why Gaboo does this. He doesn't have Hall of Thanes yet, so he's losing out a lot of HP on this one. The population differential is still relatively close here. But Gaboo about to lose this watchtower, which will allow his main base to be completely opened up for a hoplite raid coming in a little bit later in the game. See if that's going to be a problem as 3antozz here, he really needs to put down some more military buildings here. It's very, very late on that 3rd military building. You can see his floating resources quite a bit here. Generally speaking, around about 6 minutes is your 3rd military building, and around about, I would say, 8 minutes is your 4th military building in terms of villages that you need. If you think about how many villages you need per military building, it's around about, 90 resources? So you need around about 8 or 9 villages per military building, and then also 4 villages per town center. So you can kind of do the quick math on exactly how that works. As the Hursar do spot some units here, but Gaboo decides instead of attacking those, he's going elsewhere. Now the Hersa, look at this position here where the villagers have been pulled back nice. I like that play there from 3antozz. He just pulls back ever so slightly and says no worries as 3antozz, but he's still going after these towers. I don't particularly think this tower matters that much. But at this point now, Gaboo, he doesn't have any gold. And in classic Gaboo fashion, he will be moving over onto that gold mine. We'll see if he's going to be able to get it. He has managed to get a fairly strong army created here. As he moves through, he gets the Iron on that position, immediately bolting that one there from 3antozz. Nice play as Odysseus about to fall as well. As the hoplites coming in to deal with this one. As more units going to come out, we do see the restoration now comes down a little bit late on that one. Would have been nice to keep the Odysseus alive as the army of Gaboo will be pushing away. And here's the problem. 3antozz doesn't realize the gold mine is getting grabbed because Gaboo's gold mine has expired possibly a little bit earlier than it would normally expire here, as he could start sending units over here to harass that gold. As the Hersa now moving over, still searching for villagers to kill. Only a handful of hoplites going to be chasing those there, as the army of 3antozz is now grouping up to move over onto this gold mine. Gaboo going to have to retreat off this one. He's got plenty of gold in the bank for the time being, but he doesn't have the food here at all. As the villagers do end up getting pushed back, Gaboo says, no worries, just gonna leave here for the time being. He does decide to turn around and take a little bit of a fight as more army is coming in to take out these dwarves. As Gaboo now sending in some Hersa to take this fight as well. As this is kind of going to be a bit of an all-in, it seems, by Gaboo onto 3antozz, as 3antozz is standing strong here, taking this fight with those hoplites. Do you see a big troll spawn here? No heroes at the moment on this fight here for 3antozz, as 3antozz going to have to bail from that one. He gets a good amount of damage done. The units over here have spotted everything retreating back into the main base. There is still this gold over here and this hunt over here as well, which Gaboo can run onto. As the unit's still pushing forward, the troll going to help out tons. We'll see if Gaboo can get himself another myth unit spawn here to help him out. But the Jason is now in. The army of 3antozz retreating back, and 3antozz, he's still floating a lot of resources. He does have himself the third military building, but he's not building from it. As the Gaboo army does push 3antozz back ever so slightly, but the Jason comes in, slaps down that troll. No paying attention from Gaboo there, as he loses most likely both of those trolls. Definitely needs to retreat away with that troll if he can, as the Rhinoceros getting involved as well. Meanwhile, the units on this position getting taken out as the throwing axemen are starting to be built now by Gaboo to deal with those hoplites. Maybe a little bit too late on that one after all is said and done. His 3antozz here is still putting pressure on. Imagine if 3antozz had spent those resources. He'd be most likely at 100 population and be winning these fights very, very easily here. As the Jason makes his way over onto that troll, going to be able to slap that one down. The strengths of the troll are that it does good damage and it's got range, but the weaknesses of the troll is it's got very, very low armor and HP, so it goes down very fast. It's like a glass cannon type unit. Same thing for the Wadjet as well, and any other like classical age ranged myth units. Is there another one? I don't actually think there is another one. Those two units are very similar. Centaur. The Centaur's the other one, right? So there, that's the thing. As one ox cart going down, two ox carts going down as well. And in that moment, Gaboo says he's got no resources in the bank, no ability to continue in this game. And 3antozz manages to stay alive here, even without spending all those resources. A really, really nice strategy here from 3antozz. Gaboo's kind of greed to get the Hall of Thanes out in this game is his downfall. And I'm going to keep saying it because I know that Loki, in the early stages of this game, we've seen it already happen in a Loki versus Uranus matchup, which normally is impossible for the Loki to kind of stay alive in. If the Loki goes Hall of Thanes, you cannot fight. It makes it really, really tough. You have to kind of play a really sneaky Loki to kind of win games. But if you just simply delay the Hall of Thanes, put down a longhouse, a second longhouse, and make two Hersa and throw an axeman, getting that Hall of Thanes more at like 9 minutes into the game rather than 6 minutes into the game, you find yourself being able to survive, eating food in the middle of the map, forcing out restorations and being completely fine with it, rather than these positions where you're just struggling and struggling and struggling. But a really good game here played by 3antozz. Very nice execution of the Athena Rush. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.